You're listening to The Unprofessional Entrepreneur, the podcast where small business owners learn to build their business unprofessionally. It's high time to stop stressing about having perfect content and a conventional way to market your business. I want you to embrace your unprofessional side and learn to succeed on your own terms. I'm your host, Veli, a feel-good marketing mentor and the owner of a content repurposing agency, FDVA. Tune in each Thursday when new episodes air, and let's build your business unprofessionally. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we are speaking with a very, very special guest, and we're going a little spicy, a little unpopular opinion, which is something I love to talk about. I love to dig into the differences and the polarizing thoughts that aren't so publicly addressed, even though we all secretly have them. And this is someone that I've been following, I want to say maybe a year or two, but I know that I started following you because you were in Mexico City and I was living in Puerto Escondido, and I was like, somebody in Mexico. But once you find her, you can't not follow her and you can't not consume her stuff because it's just so good. The graphics alone, like, that's my weakness is graphics, but like the graphics alone, it's a lesson in design. But I would like to introduce everyone to Erica Reitman, the co-founder of the Icon Agency and just all around badass. So if you want to introduce yourself to everyone and let them know what you're all about.
Oh, thank you so much. What an incredible introduction. Well, I am so happy to be here. I am a business coach, and as you mentioned, the co founder of the Icon Agency, which is a project I started with my husband last summer. And we call it the first of its kind empire building agency. And the way we do things differently there, most of the time, you'll see a social media agency or an SEO agency or an agency that really focuses in on one topic. And that's awesome. But what I have found as a business coach is that oftentimes with my clients, it's never just one thing that they need. It's a variety of different things. And we work specifically with people who are kind of ready for that next big up level, to take that next really big step in their business to kind of really move the needle. And so what we did is we created a program that is so customized for each person. We help you with whatever you need in order to take that next step. And sometimes that's copywriting, sometimes that's social media, sometimes that's, hey, help me launch a podcast like you, and really get out there in a bigger way. And so, yeah, that is what we do.
I love it because I agree. And I remember when you first started like talking about it and promoting it, and I think you pushed the launch for a bit, but I was like
Yeah.
rushing, like, where is it? I want to see what happens when this comes out.
Yeah.
And it's just so true because so many people will be like, okay, you need to do these 10 things to be successful or to like have your launch. And it's like, go do it now,
Right.
and it's a lot of
Yes.
pressure, and it's
Yes.
and it's like on top of the business coach, like, okay, now I need to go hire 10 other service providers. And like, I have to go through the interviewing
Right.
process. I have to do the research. There's like so much that
Right.
goes into running a business already. So
Yeah.
having a
Totally.
full service agency, and like I run an agency, much smaller scale. We only do content repurposing, but it's like, I know how valuable having like that one-stop shop is as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur without having to
Yeah.
do all of the
Figure it all out.
additionals. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that we do is we still combine this like one-on-one business
Hmm.
strategy coaching, which is also another piece that's not usually present when you hire an agency. So
Hmm.
it's been really fun to do.
Yeah, this is how many cohorts have you done now?
Well, so interestingly, when we started, we had this idea that we wanted to kind of keep people on the same three
Hmm.
month like path and trajectory. The very first time we did that, we realized we can
No.
start everyone at the same time, but they're not going to be finishing at the same time. So we kind of gave up that idea. And now
Hmm.
we're just like onboarding people as soon as we
As they
have a
come.
spot open. Yeah. So it's kind of worked out much better just because like everybody takes vacations and has unexpected things come up in their lives. And so keeping everyone on the same exact schedule, especially when each of our clients too gets such customized deliverables. And
Mhm.
so if you're working on completely rebranding your entire website versus, something else, the timelines are always different as well.
Yeah, and it's like you need to leave room for renewals and leave room for
Yes.
growth and
Yes,
yeah,
totally. Totally.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Um, I would love just a quick and dirty rundown of what
Yeah.
being an icon entrepreneur means to you, because besides the killer agency, the massive TikTok following, you've got social proof for days behind you with like your life
Thank
experience.
you.
So,
Thank
were
you.
you I know you spoke at a conference a long time ago, like in the beginning, about being like building a personal brand, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
did this come naturally to you? Was it something you worked on? Was it always a desire?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a bit of a combination of both. And I,
Mhm.
I definitely get some shit for even using the word icon. And so
Mm,
I love any opportunity to kind of explain where I'm coming from that point of view. And really, it's not a matter of me thinking that me or any of my clients are on the same level as like Oprah or Cher or Beyonce, these people that are established out in the world as icons. For me, it's much more about stepping into this energy of being my own version of an icon. And we each get to kind of define what that is, but I just think there's so much power in imagining what would my business be like? What would my life be like if I was my own version of Beyonce? And I was really taking that seriously. And I was approaching all of the things that I did in my life and in my business as if I were an icon. And like how fun and cool and powerful that concept is to kind of like play with and really step into. And so that is why I chose that word, because I think that we each can, play with that energy with ourselves and define what that means for ourselves. And then really like challenge ourselves to kind of step into it and be that version. And for me, I hear people talk about like main character energy, and I think
mm.
that's cool. But like in my mind, that kind of feels like I'm acting in someone else's play. And like, I don't know. I've seen a couple of specials on Beyonce and like her work ethic and the amount of time and attention and intention that she puts into everything that she does is like beyond next level. And that is really what I want to aspire to in my own life. And that's what I want my clients to aspire to too. So that's why I use that word. I feel really good about the fact that we use that word. And I would love to see more women get comfortable using that word about themselves.
Yeah, like there's a lot to be said about unlearning current ingrained definitions of words and like embracing your own beliefs and like reinventing the image of what it means. And something that I see like as a common trend with you, with your agency clients, like with the work that you're doing, is really like innovation
Yeah.
and like being innovative, like
Yeah. Yeah.
innovative entrepreneurs, you know? So it's like, I think that comes to, like you said, like from the dedication that you put into your business and into your life's work, like with Beyonce and like how many hours she puts into it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, innovation, standing out from the crowd, thinking outside the box, however you want to define it, that that is the best compliment you could ever give me. Like, I just get off on doing things differently than
Mm-hmm.
everyone else. And I tend to attract people like that into my world as well. There is nothing wrong with following formulas. There's plenty of businesses out there right now that are making millions of dollars just kind of following a formula or doing it like everyone else is. And I truly don't think there is anything wrong with that. However, for me and my brain, I can't handle that. I always want to be thinking like, what is the angle that someone hasn't thought of? How can I solve this problem that I see coming up again and again and again for my clients or in my industry? How can I, even the people that I like to pay attention to, like, of course, I follow other coaches. Like, yeah, I want to see what's kind of going on in my own industry, but I love to follow, the heads of marketing at big corporations or UGC creators
Oh, I
or
love them.
different creators out there that are doing things in a way that is just like totally cutting edge and different and unique. And I don't want to stay like stuck in my own little bubble. I want to be paying attention to TV and pop culture and all of that stuff because I think that just helps me show up as a better, as a better business owner, as a better coach, as a better marketer, as someone who really, I feel like for my clients is, very intentionally making sure that I always have a fresh perspective. Like, I always am going to have a new idea for you. Like, if you're not looking for a coach with like strong opinions, big ideas, like you just kind of, want somebody to, bounce an idea off of here and there, or just kind of do things the way you've been doing, like, I am not a good fit for you. Like, there are plenty other coaches I can point you in the direction of. I am not a good fit.
No, I totally get that, and I feel that way like so deeply. Of like I'm not for everyone. I don't have to be for everyone,
Yeah.
and I'm perfectly okay if you tell me like I'm not for you. That's totally fine. I'm not offended. Like,
Yeah. Let's not waste anybody's time. On to the
mm.
next.
And I think like one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten from TikTok was to, like you said, follow other industries than your own. And I
Yeah.
got really into the creator industry, to the UGC industry last year. I find it so interesting and I love that. And now I can see like entrepreneurs are bringing in like brand deals and like affiliate marketing more, and like in like good ways, not like the old affiliate marketing of like sleazy salesmen, but it's like
Yeah.
I love that because we are, I mean, I'm not going to say like we're all influencers, but in a way we are. Like
Yeah.
we have influence over our audience. We actively are building audiences as we grow our businesses. So why not partner with other people, like collaborate. Collaboration doesn't have to be just podcast episodes. It can literally be collaborating with the microphone, the water bottle, the phone company, whatever. And I know like
Yeah.
you with your Merch Your Life, like this is
Y-
you.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I'll explain that concept, but like
Mhm.
that's something I've been thinking about a lot. And I honestly think like what you just shared is like a trend prediction of what we are going to be seeing more because there are incredible creators out there right now. Like brands, I feel like the world is their oyster in terms of who they can collaborate with. Like they have a lot of options. But I am very intrigued by this idea of like a coach influencer, for example, and what that could look like. Someone who, like me, I have my own business. I am not looking to get rid of my business. I am not looking to become a full time influencer. There's nothing wrong with that. That's
Mhm.
just not, what's on my path. I want to keep building my business. And I love products. I love Amazon favorites. I love to share the things in my life that are making a difference and moving the needle in a big way. And so, what could that potentially look like? How can I potentially work with brands? How can brands potentially work with me so that we can kind of expand this idea of influencer, as you just were saying, like we all could become influencers, but I really think that's a trend that we're going to see more and more. And it's happening now,
Mhm.
but to me,
It's
that's
slow.
like really intriguing.
Yeah, and I mean like I'm still sitting over here waiting for your TikTok video. Who was it that you were calling out? Marshalls? I'm waiting for someone to
Marshalls.
come into that one.
Okay, well, my husband had the best idea. So I recently shared, I shared a video on TikTok where I am a Marshalls girly. I love the store Marshalls. It's in the US. It's like a discount store. I think in Canada you guys have like Home Sense or I don't know, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
where you go, you look through all the different departments, all the different aisles, and you search for like, the treasures. And at this store, Marshalls, they sell these like reusable bags. bags for 99 cents near the register. And they always have a selection of like 10 to 12 of them. And constantly the designs are changing. The designs are always ugly as fuck. Like, I don't understand it. Almost to the point that, like, I see people sitting around a board table and they're like, okay, like, let's really just have some fun and come up with the ugliest designs that people have ever seen and like pretend like we intentionally meant to do this, but actually this is like a joke that we're playing on everyone. Like that's how ugly these bags are. And I came up with this idea that like I genuinely feel like Marshalls could change their entire business by using these bags as a framework for marketing themselves. And let's do limited edition bags and let's collaborate with other creators or fashion designers or musicians. Like there's so many opportunities for juicy ideas with these bags. They already have the framework in place. Like they literally could do this next week if they wanted to. So I ended up creating a video. I still have not heard from Marshalls, by the way. I am waiting for the call. I am waiting for the email. Hire me as a consultant. I will put this whole friggin' thing together for you. But yeah, I have some strong opinions. I have some ideas for a lot of other brands. And thank God someone left a comment today because what I was going to say is my husband is like, you should turn this into a series and call it Dear CMO and just
Ooh,
share your ideas for all of the other brands out there. So, like, already on deck, I have Nespresso, some thoughts for Nespresso. Like, I'm just going to lay it all on the line.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that. That's what I was thinking as well when you started. I was like, it should be a series. It could be such a
I'm going
good
to do
series. And
it.
what I want to say, like last comment on this, is that
Yeah.
I saw someone put like a wish list of brand deals on LinkedIn, and all these people started commenting like contacts that they know within those companies. And I'm like, put that video on LinkedIn. Somebody's got to know somebody.
Yes. That's
Like,
smart. That's smart. I've been looking to like ramp things up on LinkedIn, so maybe I will.
perfect. Perfect. You'll go viral. Let someone tag the CMO of Marshalls for you.
Yes. Yes, totally.
Okay, so I'm like, where do I want to go next? I would actually love, like, out of all the questions I wrote, I would love a current look or recommended list of your mindset practices, because I feel like A, you're not going to give me a fluffy answer, but like B, I know that one-on-one and accountability is a big part of your agency and you're working
Yeah.
with some big people on big
Yeah.
moves. So I'd love to
Yeah.
hear from that.
Yeah. Well, so the thing that's front and center for me right now is this concept of connecting with the CEO millionaire version of yourself. And I think this is especially powerful for business owners. Honestly, it doesn't matter at what stage of your business you are, because the entire thought process behind this is that I want you to connect with this version of yourself right now, no matter how much money is in your bank account. And I love this so much because for me, I've been doing this for years, and this is like an ongoing framework that I always go back to. And I think you can always use in so many different situations. But it's really connecting with this higher level business owner that already exists out in the universe. And you just, for whatever reason, might not have met her yet. But again, I think it's super fun to think about if you were ridiculously successful in your business, as successful as you want to be, if you were making all of the money that you wanted to be, how would you be showing up in the world? How would you be showing up to social media? How would you be dealing with the things that are happening in your business? And for me, this is so often both with myself and my clients. Like, I will legit say to myself in my head, like, okay, I was going to do this masterclass. I wanted 100 people to sign up. 25 people signed up. What am I making this mean? And what would the CEO millionaire version of myself think about all of this? Because I will tell you exactly what she would think about it. She wouldn't give a shit.
Mhm.
She'd be on to the next thing. Like Erica, my dick brain, would be spending, days just thinking about what a failure I was, how I should throw my entire business into the garbage, and how probably nobody will ever hire me again. Like that is my brain's tendency. And honestly, I think most of us kind of go into that realm. But when I say to myself, like, what does CEO millionaire Erica think about this? like she's already moved on to the next thing. She might say like, okay, the next time we do a master class, let's make sure to go back and like look at our marketing and our social media around that time and like let's really try and optimize it. But she doesn't care. She knows that she is going to be successful. She knows that she's going to be making a lot of money. This is just a tiny little blip on her radar, and she doesn't give a shit about it. She's not going to waste her time like staying stuck, spinning in her head. She's just going to go take care of business. And so, this framework, this idea is something that honestly I use almost on a daily basis. And I think it's so great for just like snapping yourself out of like the typical kind of dick brain spinning that we all do every single day when something happens that's maybe not, like a little disappointing or things don't work out the way we wanted them to. But I take it beyond even that. And I think through things like I've chatted before about how I dress up every day for work, even though most of the time I'm not leaving my apartment
Mm.
except to like walk the dog. I dress up even if I don't have a Zoom call with anyone, if I'm not meeting with clients, if I don't have a podcast interview. And that for me puts me into the mindset of CEO millionaire me because that bitch every day has a dope outfit. She's got her accessories, she's feeling good, and it just kind of changes the whole mood and vibe of my workday for me. So you can use it in a lot of different ways. And I just really encourage people to try and like connect with that version of
Mhm.
yourself, define what that version of yourself looks like and how she dresses and shows up to her business and does all of those things. And I actually just, I'll be happy to send you a link, but I just came out with a free resource that teaches you how to set up a CEO millionaire date for yourself every month. And this is one of the ways that I really, especially in the beginning when this was kind of a newer concept for me and I wasn't quite as comfortable with it, I would every single month take myself out on a CEO millionaire date, which again, I'm choosing a spot that's really vibey, that kind of reflects this version of myself. I'm doing things like journaling, or, maybe you never get time to read, and that's something that you've wanted to bring more into your life. So you can bring your Kindle with you. I'm doing things like ordering the two drinks for myself. I can't decide between the green juice and the lemonade. I'm going to order them both. And really just like spending some intentional time connecting with this version of myself. So, this is something that I just put out into the world. And I'm actually also working on a program that goes into all of the specifics about how you really can do this in your life and in your business.
Is this the video series one?
So the program is actually going to be a course,
Mm.
although I'm also trying to reinvent the idea of what we think of when we think of an online course because I am just bored as fuck with all of the like Zoom videos and
Mm.
me sitting here in front of the same background for hours at a time. And I just like don't, I'm over it. I don't want to ask anyone to watch me for 4 hours on Zoom videos. So this weekend, actually, we're shooting all of the videos for this course, and I am shooting it almost like a TV show.
You've
And
already planned it all
so
out?
oh, yeah, I have a crew coming. Like, yeah. This
I
is
love it.
this is CEO Millionaire Me has planned out an incredible situation for this course. We're shooting it. We have a crew. I have props. I have, like all sorts of stuff. I've spent a lot of time thinking this through because I truly like I want to reinvent what we think of when we think of online courses because I think that whole industry is due for some
Yeah.
big shifts and changes.
Yeah. I did a course in 2020 and I like recorded it and launched it and was like, I don't really like it. And like it's in my client portal and I still have like one-on-one clients be like, wow, like the stuff you're talking about. And I'm like, honestly, I would delete it if everyone didn't come back and say they loved it because it's just I can't watch content like that. And like some people
No.
can, but I personally just can't get into it. And so like when I
Yeah.
saw you talking about this concept of like shooting it like a TV series and I was like that's so cool. I don't
Yeah.
have the dedication, but that's so cool. Like,
Thank
it won't be
you.
me, but like it's going to be amazing and like you said, people are going to copy you 100%, but also
Yeah.
like it's not the worst thing if the course industry gets overhauled because it is kind of boring. I'm
It
not into
is.
courses personally.
Yeah, and I don't think online courses are going anywhere, but like this is the
No.
sort of stuff like when I was talking before about like how I just get off on doing things differently. So for me, this stuff is fun and I hope people copy me because it's not pretty out there
Mhm.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna start heading towards wrapping this up. I have 3 questions left.
Okay. Okay.
I love your post about everyone being multi-passionate. I remember I wrote a post like the word mono-passionate doesn't exist or something. And
Yeah.
it's so frustrating to see people hide behind the like not niche down, pick an ideal client, tell people what they actually want to do. Like, why do you think this is such a difficult concept to be accepted and for people to embrace?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the problem is that being multi passionate is bullshit. Like, we are all multi passionate. If you feel like, oh, I can't choose a niche because I'm multi passionate, like, welcome to being a human being.
Mm.
Like, we all have different interests, we all have different loves. And you in your business, zoning in on something in particular doesn't mean you're taking all of your other interests and like dumping them in the garbage and not ever honoring them again. Like I used to be an interior designer. I still really love design. This doesn't mean that just because I'm not an interior designer now, I don't have anything in my life that relates back to that love. I have plenty of things in my life that do. I just don't sell interior design services. Even though on a monthly basis, I am still getting people coming back to me and saying, oh, are you taking on any interior design clients? Like, oh, I would love to hire you. No, I am not. I am working on my own interior design in my own life, but we are all multi passionate. And
Mhm.
so I just want everyone to remember and connect with this idea that choosing a niche, choosing a specialty, like zoning in on one thing or another, does not mean that all of this other stuff goes away. And I even like want people to remember that even when you do choose a niche or even when you do specialize in something, it doesn't mean that at some point you can't expand it. You can't bring other things in. Right now, I have this dream of like starting this product line. I'm not wearing them now, but I love glasses chains. And I have been wearing them for like the past 5 years or so. They've recently become a bit more popular, but it doesn't necessarily relate to anything else that I'm doing right now, except that I am somebody who loves fashion and style, and that is a part of my personal brand. And so, somebody might look at that and think, well, like, that's not at all related to helping people build businesses. And they would be right. But I don't feel like if I eventually decide to do this, bringing this piece into my business is like going to blow everything up. Like
No.
to me, I feel like it fits. And so I think we can all also expand our idea of like niching down and not think of it as like a death sentence. It's not. You know what it is? It's helping people more easily pull out their wallet and spend money with you.
Mhm,
And that's
mhm.
something that I can get behind.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of like niching your offers versus like niching everything to like to the point of like you
Yeah.
only speak to one very specific person and you feel stuck.
Yeah.
Because if you go like so far down the rabbit hole, maybe it'll be harder to pull yourself back out of it. But you can
Yeah.
always still pivot, like you said, and then like adding
Yeah.
in different things like a glasses chain line. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, we are these influencers in our business, and whether it's about building businesses or not, I'm sure a lot of people who follow you and love your coaching also love your fashion. And so if you come out with a fashion line, they'll still be interested, Like it's not like you've
Yeah.
lost your audience because you launched a
Right.
product.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask what's next? Besides the course that we just talked about,
Yeah.
do you have anything else in the works for you and the Icon agency?
Um, well, yeah, CEO Millionaire You is the next big focus.
Mhm.
We're hoping to come out with this program either like end of summer, early fall. Um, my husband and I live in Mexico City and we really love to travel. So one of the things I'm having a lot of fun with as well is adding international VIP days. We recently went to Paris for my birthday and I had such an amazing time. I was like, I want to come back for a month in the fall. And so now I'm working on getting my Paris VIP days out there. And really just, again, this is something that I do with all of my clients and I do with myself, is like tuning into the opportunities in your business and in your life and making things easy for yourself and being creative and strategic. And so if I end up selling VIP days in Paris where I'm helping other women like plan out their business and plan out 2024, that's going to work for me and this desire of mine to like spend a month in Paris and have the whole thing paid for. And so I want to I bring that up too, just to like, encourage anyone listening. You likely have quite a few opportunities like this in your business right now, and pay attention to the things that feel fun and feel exciting for you, and then come up with a way to make them happen, because you're the CEO and you get to make every fucking decision that used to be, for those of us who worked in corporate America, we were never allowed to make. And it's so fun when we can kind of figure out that synergy and do things like that in our business. So those are the two things that are front and center for me right now.
Well, I love that. And if you end up spending a month in Paris, let me know, because I'm now living in the south of France. So I will come to visit.
Yes, that would be so much fun.
And my very last question that I ask all the guests is, what makes you an unprofessional entrepreneur?
I have a long and storied history as an unprofessional entrepreneur. I have just always been like this. I've always been very opinionated. I do not mind stirring the pot, sharing the unpopular opinions. I know you talked a little bit about that too. And I just feel like, if I am truly going to be running my own business, I'm going to be doing this in a way that feels really good for me. And so often that involves breaking the rules, going against what all the gurus are telling you to do, doing things my own way, and hopefully, showing up as an example of what's possible for others who also feel like they don't like to do things the way everyone else does. And so for me, I was sharing, like, even just the name of your show, like, makes me so happy and makes me smile, because I think we all should be unprofessional entrepreneurs. It's way more fun.
It's way more fun. And I'm noticing a theme with my guests that everyone's got like this little bit of a rebellious side in them. And I'm just like, this is perfect. These are my people.
Totally. Yes.
So where can everybody find you? How can everyone connect with you? Let the people know.
Yeah. So I am on Instagram and TikTok. Those are my main spots. And it's just my first name and my last name. So EricaReitman. I would love to connect with everyone, because any friend of yours is a friend of mine. But that's where you can kind of find me, and also kind of tap into anything that I have going on in the way of offers or working together or anything like that.
Yeah. And I'm going to put the CEO Millionarire. It's a magazine, right? I'm going to put that link in the...
It's a little magazine. I love my magazines.
I know. I love your magazine template that you came out with.
Yes.
I don't know when.
Yes,
but it's going to be in the show notes. And so will the Instagram and TikTok, for everyone to go and find Erica online. And thank you so much for coming.
Of course. This was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy with how this turned out. So
good.
Yeah, we're going to leave it there.
Amazing.
Wait, before you go, I just wanted to let you know that if you are listening to this on the day it came out or the week it came out, until June 23rd, this Friday, I am hosting a giveaway on my agency Instagram account. So if you go to FeliDayVA on Instagram, you will be able to enter to win 1 free month of Repurposing Unlimited, our unlimited content repurposing retainer that my agency sells for a minimum of $3,000 for 3 months. So this is like once in a lifetime. You can't see my air quotes, but you get it. This is an amazing opportunity. This is a killer giveaway, and this is your chance to enter. So go do that. And once again, of course, thank you for listening to the podcast, and I look forward to connecting with all of you.